Alexis, could you ask me for the permission to record in Spanish? Welcome, everyone. We are giving a few minutes to get everyone in the room. Great attendance today. And as you know, we offer this webinar in both English and it's translated to interpreted to Spanish. So I will be presenting in English and Alexis will be interpreting. So if you want to hear to this in English or Spanish, you can go to interpretation and select the sound channel that you want to get. It could be English, Spanish. I think we are ready to start. You should be seeing my screen. Let's see. We are just missing Edmundo's permission. Okay, just give it a minute more to get people in the room. We still have people getting into the room. And thank you, great attendance today. Great response to this webinar. We are going to give you some good ideas to dust off your coaching skills and make a comeback to coaching if you have been away for a while. Okay, Alexis, let me know if I promoted Edmundo to panelist, and hopefully that allows the recording in that computer for the Spanish speaking. Well, it's set up as panelist, and if you need a permission as for recording, let me know. Okay, everyone, great, thank you, thank you. Well, welcome to another webinar from the International Coaching Community. You might be aware or not, but the community is turning 23 years old. Joseph O'Connor and Andrea Lages started this community back in 2001. And now, 23 years later, we are 47 trainers all over the world. We are offering training in many, many places. The International Coaching Certification has been offered in more than 70 countries, in more than 20 languages. We are probably one of the largest coaching schools in the world with more than 16,000 coaches certified with us. If you want to listen to this webinar in English or Spanish, you have that option. Just look at your menu. There should be an interpretation place where you can select English or Spanish, and you can listen to both languages. This webinar is delivered in English. Si quieren escucharlo en español, en su menú hay una sección para seleccionar el audio en español. El webinar se va a dar en inglés con interpretación al español. So you can listen in English or you can click to listen in Spanish. And if you have attended some of my webinars or presentations before, you know that I am a very big fan of meditation. And I think that meditation is a tool to train our brain. And that is very, very important as coaches to increase our listening, to increase our presence, our attention. It's a very, very important tool. So I'm going to invite you, before we start with the content of this webinar, to do just a very, very quick 3-minute meditation. The instructions are on the screen. Just get into a comfortable position with your feet soles touching the floor. Your hands could be on your legs, straight back. Your head could be slightly tilted to the front, your eyes closed. And just pay attention to your breathing. This is one of the easiest meditations, but it's very effective. Just pay attention to your breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Any other noise, idea, something that you remember, any other things that distract you from paying attention to your breathing, just gently tell your brain, no brain, just go back to paying attention to inhaling and exhaling. I will start a timer and we will do this for just 3 minutes. Thank you. For those of you that practice meditation, it was a nice break. For those of you that do not practice meditation, it was like eternity, trying to just pay attention to the breathing for 3 minutes. But I really recommend, as part of your coaching, that you practice meditation, because that's a training for the brain to make it, as I said, better with listening, with presence, with mindfulness. It will make you a better coach. So really, really, I recommend practicing meditation as a coach. Para aquellos que quieran el audio en español, hay un botón que pueden seleccionar para el audio en español. El webinar se va a impartir en inglés con interpretación al español. So if you want to listen in Spanish, there is a place to pick that audio channel. If not, the webinar is going to be delivered in English. Well, let's start. And we have a great attendance. We have now almost 80 people in the room, and which, by the way, for those of you doing webinars as part of your marketing or part of your efforts to promote your business, it's always it's almost very, very accurate that you get like 20% of people register. So a lot of people got information about this webinar and they click register. I want it. This sounds interesting. We had more than 350 registrations, and we have about 80 people in the room. It's usually about 20% your attendance for webinars. Now, let's move to get to know each other a little better. Thanks, all of you that have already say hi in the chat. Thank you. If you haven't, please open your chat, and I want you to tell us where are you connecting from, and also when did you get certified? Since this is a webinar for dusting off coaching skills, we are assuming that a lot of people in the room today are already certified coaches with the international coaching community. So let us know where are you connecting from and in what year were you certified with the ICC. If you are not a certified coach, also let us know in the chat if you are not a certified coach. I see a lot of people from all over the world: Chile, Calgary, Lima, Peru, Mexico, Portugal, certified in 2014, Sweden, 2009, Belgium, living in Andalusia, certified in 2013, Mexico City, 2013, Venezuela, Colombia, 2018, Cuernavaca, the Eternal Spring City, 2007 and 2008, Lima, Peru, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Colombia, 2017, Germany, get certified in Mexico in 2023, Argentina, coach since 2022, Lithuania, 2023. New coaches, welcome, congratulations, those that got certified in the last years. Susana from Querétaro, certified with the ICC, Miami, Iceland, Lima, Mexico, Guatemala. Welcome, everyone. Thank you. A lot of people from all over the world. That's what I love about the international coaching community. It's really international. We have people from all over the world: Ottawa, Canada, Poland, Argentina, Colombia. It's hard to catch up with all these. As I said, we have 80 people in the room. A lot of certified coaches. Love it, because we are going to talk a lot about how to dust off our coaching skills today and how to be really active coaches. So the first message that I have for you is the last words that I give to my graduates. As you know, I am a trainer for the International Coaching Certification, or the International Coaching Certificate. We are 47 trainers for the community. I am in charge of US, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, and Mexico. And when I certify coaches, the last message that I give my new coaches is this one. It will be selfish if, now that you are a professional coach, you don't use your transformation and the tools that you got to help as many people as you can. Rodrigo, por ahí anda en tu menú el botoncito, búscalo en interpretación o en audio. Or Alexis, if you can help some people with the interpretation in the menu. In the chat, you can write them the instructions. Brazilian from Rio de Janeiro. Welcome, Sara. So this is a key message that I give new coaches when they get certified in my program. I tell them, really what you went, because you all coaches here have experienced that this was really a transformation. It was a transformation in the way we think, in the way we speak, in the way we pay attention to language, in the way we execute our programs and our actions and our goals. So by going through that transformation and also acquiring those coaching skills, I think we have an obligation to help as many people as we can. And that could mean a business where we are making a lot of money, or that could mean pro bono, that could mean any way of coaching. But what it's important is that this is a gift that we gave ourselves, a gift that we are getting in life to be professional coaches. And I think the responsible thing to do, the not selfish thing to do, is to reach as many people as we can with coaching. So that's an important message that I want to use to start our webinar today. And then the other part is that when I tell candidates to the coaching certification program, what is coaching about or what is becoming a coach about, I tell them you are going to start, but you never going to finish. We are in a field of knowledge that is related to the brain, is related to the mind, is related to the human being. And I think stopping learning or thinking that I am done, I am already a coach and I finished my studies and I'm done, it would be not the best decision, because as we know, when it comes to mind, brain, human development, we are so many things to learn. We are so many things to discover. We are so many fields of investigation and so many new discoveries in neuroscience, in emotional intelligence, etc., that I think it would not be honoring the complexity of the mind and the human evolution if we are not continuous learners. But I think I'm preaching to the choir here, because usually coaches, we are lifelong learners. We want to continue learning. Someone wrote in the chat, certify in 4 different years, because he or she has 4 different certifications. I have several certifications. Some of you have several certifications, because we need to continue studying, and the more tools, the more knowledge that we get around the brain, the human, the mind, the better equipped we will be to help people. So that's an important thing to remember as well. Now, I want to start by reminding you, as ICC certified coaches, that you already have a very, very strong foundation. These are 3 paragraphs that I have in my landing page to promote the International Coaching Certificate that many of you already have. Is the value of your ICC certification. Number 1 is designed with a blend of the best coaching methodologies. That's why we don't advertise it as ontological coaching certification or NLP certification, because what Joseph and Andrea did 23 years ago was a blend of methodologies. They took some things from ontological, some things from NLP, some things from positive psychology, behavioral coaching, the inner game, and all that got combined to a very, very solid program that you went through. So the first thing that I want you to remember to dust off your coaching skills, you are a very, very well-trained coach, because you got a mix of very powerful methodologies. That's something that you need to remember. The other thing to remember is that the ICC program is a program where we work with experiential learning. There is a lot of practice within class, a lot of practice out of class. Part of your requirements to get certified were practices as a coach, and you also coach people in class, and you were coached by other people. So you had a lot of hands-on work with your coaching. So remember that because of that, you have a strong foundation. I think one of the good things about our certification is that when people get out, they are like, I am confident. I know how to coach. I learned how to coach. I have had candidates to the certification, or people sometimes asking for information. Few people from Mexico actually told me, I am going through a master's in coaching, or even a doctorate program in coaching, and I am loving the books, I am loving the professors, everything is great, but I don't know how to coach. Because sometimes many programs are giving you the theory, but they are not giving you the practice. But you, as an ICC certified coach, you went through a lot of practice. So I want you to remember, again, as part of dusting off your skills, that you are a very well coach, a very well-trained coach. You know how to do it. You are a professional. And the third part, I am not an exception as one of the 47 trainers. I know that my 46 colleagues in the ICC, the one that trained you in Sweden, the one that trained you in Portugal, the one that trained you in Peru, in Colombia, everywhere, we all have businesses where we are active coaches. We are coaching people, we are delivering presentations, we are delivering workshops. We have a business, not only certifying coaches for the ICC. And that is very, very important value for you, because that means that when you went through your certification, you got from your training also a lot of experience from doing business in coaching and from helping companies, helping people either with life coaching, executive coaching, career coaching, any type of coaching. So all that, I want you to reflect on these 3 paragraphs, because this is your foundation. You need to remember that you have a very strong foundation. Please write in the chat if you agree with me, if we are missing another thing that is important, if this is a foundation that you trust, or if something is missing. Let's make this webinar really interactive. So write in the chat window any opinions that you have about the slides that we are covering, or reactions that you are having. But I wanted to first remind you about the strength and the strong foundation that you have with the ICC certification. Another piece that I took from also from the landing page where I promote the training for new coaches is that you are going to, as I said, get mastery. And some of you have heard me maybe in previous webinars. My definition of mastery is effortless execution. When you watch people performing in the Olympics, or when you watch people performing in a concert, an artist or actor, actress, or a musician in the symphony, when you see all these professionals performing, sometimes we think, wow, that looks easy. They do it so easy. And that's what I call mastery. Mastery is effortless execution. And that's what you achieve with this certification. So you already became a master because you were coaching easily. You got to the point that all your practicing hours got you to a point where you had the confidence to coach in an easy way. Not to be, as you were at the beginning of your certification, maybe nervous about what was the next good question, or maybe thinking about what tool were you going to use. Now you are more relaxed after practice and after all the process that you went through. Now you know and you are confident that your coaching works and that you know how to do it. You also have the different models and methodologies, as I mentioned. And I also want to remind you that the ICC certification program that you did is recognized by the largest coaching association in Europe, the European Mentoring and Coaching Council. And that association gave in 2 occasions an award that is called the European Quality Award to this program because of the quality of the training and because of the content. So you were in really, really good hands when you decided to get certified with the ICC. So I wanted to start by reminding you these things, because sometimes we forget what a strong foundation we have. Now, the topic today is about dusting off your coaching skills. But I want you to first work a little bit, and let me open breakout. Let's see if I can open breakout rooms here. And I don't see this. Do we have breakout rooms here, Alexis? I'm not sure. I don't see them. Maybe because it's a webinar, we don't have it. So let's do it different. Let's do it in the chat. We have them? I can find them. Oh, not for webinars. Okay, perfect. So in this one, we don't have breakout rooms. So instead of breakout rooms, let's do this. Instead of using groups, let's use the chat. Think about when you were attracted to this webinar, dusting off my coaching skills. What do you think about? Answer this question in the chat. What do you need to reignite your passion for coaching? What is missing to be an active coach, or to maybe start your coaching business, or to use again your coaching skills? Write in the chat, what is your answer to this question? What is missing? What were you attracted to a webinar that is named Dust Off My Coaching Skills? I feel maybe a little rusty. I'm not using it a lot. Maybe additional information as a backup, as Steve tells us, as a backup. What is the reason? Maybe having real customers, okay? Gaining the confidence, finding clients. Richard says, I'm already passionate, looking for unique tips and tricks to elevate my practice. Excellent. Learning how to get clients, tools for reigniting No, tools for refreshing on a process. Excellent. Regain the confidence to work and connect with the people and manage questioning naturally. New forms to access to people, competence with applications and technology, new techniques. My passion is big, but finding client is difficult. Best tools and confidence. Okay. Finding clients, updating my knowledge, many coaches offering services, refine my skills and use them, make a big pause, improve my practice, dedicate myself 100% to coaching, finding maybe a network where you can do pro bono work, okay? Only coaching with someone in my company. Now I want to do it with more people, finding clients, just beginning. Okay, great, great. Well, I want to make an important comment here. The webinar today is dedicated to, this was my thinking when I was preparing this webinar. People that got certified, maybe they haven't used their skills a lot, or maybe they dedicate themselves to coaching and things got a little dusty, a little rusty. And now it's like, okay, how do I get back to my coaching? How do I get down to my skills and review where I am and how can I start with this? So that's what we are going to cover today, some ideas about that. Now, many of you have mentioned, and this is a very common problem for coaches. Many of you have mentioned about starting my business, finding clients, selling better. All those things were covered in previous webinars that I have offered about starting your coaching business. And I will have another webinar at the end of September, like in a month from now, that is called Monetize Your Coaching, where we are going to talk a lot about how to start your coaching business and how to grow your coaching business, again, as we did in previous years. But today, it's about how to get back to the game, how to get the dust of my tools, ideas, to reconnect with people, to reconnect with my tools, to reconnect with that knowledge, and start coming back to being an active coach. So that's the idea today. So let's move on. I created a list of things to do what I call your dusting off process, how you are going to become, again, an active coach or come back to coaching. These are 6 ideas, and I don't want you to think of these as a process. It's not that I have to do in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not a sequence. It's just a group of ideas that as we go through these ideas, and I will cover details for each of them, you might find that maybe for you, number 3 is the most important, maybe for you, number 5, maybe for you, you want to do it in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the idea is to give you a collection, a brainstorming of ideas today on how to come back to coaching, how to reignite your passion, how to reignite your skills and your competencies, and then how to become again an active coach. Now, if you haven't been a coach, Lorilis, I read your comment on knowing the requirements to get certified. That's another topic. I will give you my contact information, write to me, and I will tell you all the details. We are about to start training on September 9 in English and in Spanish. So let's move on with this. The first point that I have here is assessing your ICC journey. And by that, I mean, let's review where you are with your coaching today. Just as a reminder, when you went through the certification, you learned what the ICC defined as the 8 competencies of coaching. The 8 competencies of coaching are establishing rapport and trust with people so they feel safe, they feel in a safe space, they feel confident, they trust you, and they can work with you. That's competence number 1. And as you notice in the certification, you cover some techniques to accelerate rapport, you cover some techniques to maintain rapport. Another competence is the most important tool of coaching, the powerful questions. So you learn a lot about powerful questions, how to be succinct, how to be effective with your questions, how to make them neutral, how to make them empowering. All those things were in your training. Third concept that you learned as a competence was intuition and listening, how to dust off your intuition. As adults, we all get a little dust on our intuition, how to trust again our intuition, how to listen to what is not said. I love that phrase from our training. Coaches listen to what is not said. And that is not only body language, not only facial expressions, that's what you are capturing with your intuition. And that's listening in the 4th level. That's listening with your ears, with your heart, with your mind. That is what you want in the 3rd competence. Fourth one, when I got trained, and many of you maybe got the same from your trainers, my trainer said, no goal, no coaching. The basis of coaching is a goal. So the competences that we need to have is being very, very good as coaches on helping people define what they want, because they think that they know what they want, but they can come to work with you as a coach, and then they realize that they don't have a good definition, or maybe they are working on the wrong thing. So the first thing that we do is to help people define a very, very good goal, and define also what is the value behind the goal. So maybe your goal was getting certified as a professional coach, but you know that a powerful question that you learned in your program was, and when you get it, what is that giving you? And that's a powerful question to find, what is the value behind your goal? So what is the value behind becoming a coach, a professional coach? Is just personal growth? Is creating a business? Is being a better family member? Is improving people in my organization? What is the value of you being a certified professional coach? And that's another competence that you learn to help people find the goal and the value of what they are pursuing. Fifth competence is giving and receiving feedback. Maybe you have heard this metaphor or this explanation from your trainers when you got certified about the mirror. As coaches, we are the mirror, because the person is not watching themselves. They are expressing things, they are expressing ideas, but sometimes they don't notice the changes in their emotions. They don't notice a contradiction in their ideas. And one of the important skills that you learn with these 5 competences is the one on telling the client, have you noticed how your energy went up when you told me that? Have you noticed how you lowered your voice when you mentioned this person? How you noticed that you said this, but you did that? There is a contradiction here. So it's this competence of reflecting back to the client so they can realize what they haven't seen. I had a student in one of our certifications in Nashville that was very funny, because she said, yeah, because no one can see the spinach in your feed until somebody tell you. And that's true. If you don't have a camera in front of you, like we in Zoom, or if we don't have a mirror, we can have spinach in our feed and we don't notice until someone says, hey, you have something here. That's what we are doing as coaches. Hey, have you noticed this in yourself? Have you noticed this in this reaction? Have you noticed this in this stuff? Because from here, from outside, I'm seeing things that you are not seeing. And that's a very important skill that you learn also, giving and receiving feedback. The 6th one applies to everything. It's about creating consciousness. As professional coaches, we help our clients to create consciousness, to be more conscious about their inner dialogue, the internal dialogue, be more conscious about their goals, be more conscious about resources that they didn't consider, be more conscious about their relationships, be more conscious about their emotions coming and going. Everything that we do with the tools and with our questions and language with clients is helping them to be more conscious. So that's why it's a competence that I think is like involved in all the other ones, creating consciousness. Then number 7 was about effective homework management, because as professional coaches, in every session, we help our client to define actions to move towards that goal. I remember my teacher saying, no goals, no coaching, no actions and results, no coaching. So you need goals, you need actions, you need results. And the only way to have actions and results is that you help your client in every session to define, what are you going to do until we meet again? What is your commitment on things that you are going to move forward? And as we help clients to find actions, an important competence for coaches is that the next session we have techniques on how we are going to review those actions. What did you learn from forgetting and not doing it? What did you learn from doing it successfully? What did you learn from doing it not successfully? It's helping the client, because the importance of the task is not the task by itself, it's the learning that came from trying things. So that's number 7. And the last competence that you learned in your program was the one dealing with interferences. If you remember, a coaching process is goal, plan, and execution. So when you go to goal definition, you find the value, as Has told us, why is that important for you? Then you find the plan, you help the client define a plan. And when you move from plan to actions, sometimes in the middle from plan to actions, we have what we call interferences. And the interferences could be bad habits, It could be limiting beliefs, or they could be limited perspectives. So competence number 8 is about helping the client change a bad habit to a good habit, or a limited perspective to an expanded perspective, or a limiting belief to an empowering belief. And by doing that change, they are removing the obstacle and they are able to reach their goals. So those are the 8 things that you learn. So one of the first things that you need to do to dust off your coaching skills is to remember this and review, okay, those are 8 things that I learned, but what are my strengths and weaknesses with these? Where do I need more attention? What are the things that I remember really well? And what are the things that, oh, I didn't remember that was a competence. I didn't remember that I need to be skillful with that. And do an assessment on this. So there are many ways to assess yourself. And I'm going to give you 10 ideas on how to assess yourself. Number 1, self-reflection journals. When you coach, you can have a self-evaluation. Remember, when you did your practices for your certification, you had a format that you have to fill with your self-evaluation about how you did on that session. So having that reflection of self-evaluation is one way to assess my skills. Another one, a 360-degree feedback. It could be just interviews, it could be emails, it could be assessments that are in the market, but there are many ways to go around. That's what they call 360, and check with all people around me, what do they think about my coaching skills? What do they think about how I am doing this? Client surveys. Also, when you got certified, your client had to fill a form that was the evaluation form. So if that evaluation form was telling you from the client perspective, how helpful was your coaching? How good were you at listening? How good were you at clarifying things? So having those client surveys is also very important. In fact, I recommend sometimes my new coaches that when they start with their first clients, they continue using these 2 forms, your self-evaluation from each session and the evaluation form from the client, so you keep assessing the things that you need to polish. Another one that we do in class is the peer coaching and observation. Sometimes when we see another person coaching and we can provide feedback, we can give our opinion. Also, video or audio recordings. If your client allow it, you can record an audio or a video of the session and then review it. And then review your questions, review if some of your questions were leading or not, if they were neutral or not, if they were empowering or not, if you were good at opening your session, closing your session, helping defining actions, all the things that are part of a good structure for the session. Then the other one is checking your competency checklist. So this tool that I created with the 8 competencies, you can use something that you already learned in your program. Remember the life wheel where you have 8 areas and you rate your client on how was the satisfaction for each of the areas, present state, desired state. You can do the same with the 8 competences. You can create a wheel of ICC competence skills and rate yourself where you feel with each of those 8 skills or competences and where do you want to take them, and define what means being an 8, what means being a 9, what means being a 7. And that's another way to review where you are with your strengths as coach. The other one is reflective practice groups. Create groups of coaches where you can practice and you can give feedback to each other to make it better. Also, there are some personality and behavioral assessments. For some of you that are in the HR, human resources world, you know that there are assessments that measure our communication styles, our personality. In fact, in our certification, we provide an assessment from a company here in Houston that is called Personalities, and our participants take an assessment with personalities and get a chart like this where they can see their different communication styles when they communicate, when they are thinking or planning, and when they are performing at their best. They get a mix of how the communication is working. This is very important as a coach because if I know what is my communication preference or style, I will be better with rapport. I will be better to analyze my client and check, oh, this person is like me, so I can, a little bit like I can be myself. But no, this person is not like me. Maybe he likes more chatting about life and friends and the weekend before we get into the topic. So I will need to adapt my style and do that a little bit at the beginning. So knowing your personality style and communication preferences, super important to be better with rapport, on accelerating, on keeping it, on connecting better with the other person. The other one is goal setting and self-evaluation. Setting goals for yourself with your coaching and then evaluating how you are doing with that. And now maybe some of you have heard about, several years ago, there was a new branch of coaching that is called supervision coaching. You actually can get certified as a supervision coach. I have not done it. I want to do it. I think it's very interesting. Once you get certified as a supervision coach, you can help professional coaches to adjust their sessions. So it's like coaches coming to the supervisor and having a session with the supervisor about how they did with the client and adjusting what happened, what were the reactions, why did I reacted this way, or why I did use this tool instead of this one. So it's very, very useful as well. So again, this is a brainstorming. This is 10 different ideas that you could use to assess your strengths, to assess where you are with your coaching as number one, to dust off your coaching skills. Give me something in the chat. Is this useful? Comments, reactions to the first point of assessing where you are with your coaching? And I hope as I am explaining the competencies and some of these ideas, you are also reviewing some of the concepts that you cover in your certification. Thank you, Christine. Christine says, yes, very useful. Tell me in the chat, what do you think about this? And let's move to point number 2. Point number 2 is continuing professional development. Getting back to coaching is about also stay connected with the community. So you need to stay informed. You need to follow the ICC social media sites and the website of International Coaching Community. You need to follow the International Mentoring and Coaching Council in Europe. You need to follow the International Coach Federation in the US. There are many, many good professional places where you can stay informed. Just preparing for this webinar, I went yesterday to the International Coaching Community website, and I checked what are the resources in the Academy section of the ICC. I found that we have more than 150 recorded webinars like this one. More than 150 recorded webinars from different trainers all around the world, some in English, some in Spanish. Most of them are in the YouTube channel. All of them are in the YouTube channel. So you can get subtitles in other language in YouTube. So you have more than 150 hours of training available in the International Coaching Community website. I also checked the articles. We have more than 43 articles also written by trainers on different coaching topics. So that's a lot of things, a lot of knowledge that you have right there, free. Just go to the website and get yourself trained with that. Another important topic is, for continued professional development, is revisiting the key concepts with a fresh perspective. I have 2 programs that I offer to people to do this. One is that when you are a graduate from one of my programs, you get invited to be a staff coach in a future program. And I know that many trainers around the world are doing the same. Graduates can be staff coaches in another program. And by being a staff coach, if you have that opportunity in your country with your trainer, take it. Because being a staff coach, all my staff coaches report that it was super useful, because it was an experience without the pressure of the exam, without the pressure of the practices, without the pressure of learning everything right. It was another way to take the program and really understand things in a better way. So if you have access to the staff coach program, take advantage of that. If you don't, I am offering something that is called the refresh training. And I will give you a super offer at the end of this webinar today if you want to do a refresh training at a fraction of the coaching certification. I imagine other ICC trainers around the world could offer the same situation. I don't know if the same conditions, but they can offer you to retake the training at a lower cost so you can review the whole program as a new participant. And the other one is attending these webinars, attending this summit. We are going to be offering a summit very soon, again, to keep polishing our tools and learning more about coaching. Third thing, practicing the ICC coaching competencies. To re-engage with your core skills, you need to make your skills stronger And also the things that are not tools that I call like human capacity that we need as coaches: better listening, better questioning, presence, mindfulness, intuition, feedback, and all that come from practicing. So either practicing tools or coaching. Coach, coach, coach. If you cannot find clients yet, if you are not in that stage yet, do it pro bono. Find people, but keep coaching because that is going to give you the best practice. Number 4, networking and peer support within the ICC community. Building a supportive network, super important. Many of my groups keeps connected and they create great communities. But now I just started a new initiative, and I inviting actually trainers around the world to start the same initiative, which is creating WhatsApp groups for people in cities. So I already have an ICC certified coaches group in Querétaro, an ICC certified coach group in Mexico City. And I am creating groups where people are in a WhatsApp group because they live in the same city and they can meet every month to exchange ideas, to review topics, to practice tools, for anything of those things. So create a group or join a group and take advantage of mentoring opportunities, take advantage of some of these offers. The first group that I created was in Querétaro, a city in Mexico, and I am having a monthly meeting with them in Zoom or in person, depending on when it's possible. And we have already like 3 meetings, I think, and they have been all very, very useful for the participants. For the Mexico City group, at the end, I will give you my contact, Beatriz. Just write me a chat, and I will give you the link to the group. We are just starting with the Mexico City one. So that's another point, number 4. Let's move to number 5, creating a reentry plan. And by that, I mean, create a strategy on how you are going to have a step-by-step plan to get back to coaching. And that, for many of you, that means I am finally going to start and grow my coaching business, because I learned this, but I haven't made money with this. I haven't started it formally with a group, and I need to start my business. So for that, you need to have the structure to really, if you are serious about launching and growing your coaching business, do it in a structured way. Now, let me confess something to you. The majority of coaching programs, the ones that you pick to get certified as a coach, including the one in the ICC, are not very strong on launching and growing a business. They are very strong in making you a very good coach. The ICC comply with you in making you a very good professional coach. But the information that most of our program provides for marketing and selling and launching a business is very, very limited. That's why 2 years ago, I created the Coach Business Program. This is only for certified coaches. It's a program of 1 year where we go through the COACH acronym: confidence, opportunity, attract clients, connect with clients, be the hero for your clients. And it's a program to help people that are serious about launching and growing their business. If it's not my Coach Business Program, find another program, but find a structure to finally get organized on how you get all the entrepreneurial skills needed to really launch and grow your business. Because you can be an excellent coach, but that doesn't mean that you are a great entrepreneur, to have the unbreakable mindset, to have the irresistible messages, to sell without feeling bad that you are selling. That's what is going to help you with the point number 6, which is overcoming resistance and fear. For some of us, that self-doubt is that we are not confident about our coaching, that we have the imposter syndrome. And that gets fixed if you remember your foundation that is very strong. If you keep practicing your skills, assessing your skills, practicing your skills, then you will get better at your confidence and you will overcome that resistance and that fear. But sometimes the resistance and fear is not about my coaching capacities. It's more about my business capacities. And that's where I recommend you to get either my Coach Business Program or other program that helps you with that. But in my case, I am working with the 3 pillars that I think are critical to launch and grow the business. Unbreakable mindset, because I am not going to tell you, as many people tell you in social media, oh, you will get hundreds of clients, your first client in 3 months, or your 10 first clients in 3 months, and you will be very rich. No, being an entrepreneur is not easy. There are great months where everything flows really nice and you get clients. And there are months where you are thinking of just getting a job because things are going really bad. So that's why my pillar number one in that program is unbreakable mindset, because you need to be able to get back to your top performance as entrepreneur. Then irresistible messaging. Not all of those were trained in marketing. And having those messages where I am clear with my niche market, I am clear with my value proposition, I am clear with what is differentiating me as a unique coach, and how I am structuring those messages in a way that when I say it, people is like, wow, you're describing me. Where do I sign? I need you to coach me. You are describing my problem. You are describing my situation. I want help with that. I want help from you. That's the irresistible marketing part. And then the last one is, some of us love to coach, but we hate to sell. We feel uncomfortable. We don't like cold calling. We don't like the selling conversations. We don't like to ask for money. So selling without selling, or without feeling that you are selling, using your coaching skills to sell, is the third pillar that I have in that program. As I said, that's just an example. That's my program, but there are many programs in the market. Just be sure that you are with people that is really genuine and open and transparent on the difficulties of these and what are the things that help or not. I have been with my business for 13 years now, made a lot of mistakes. And what we did with that program is to share all the mistakes, so maybe you can save some time, maybe you can have a faster learning curve. So that's some of the things that I really recommend that you do. So you have the 6 ideas, and I have a group activity that I want to do again in the chat. I want you to think about what we have covered today, and I will go on to put in the screen a summary in a minute. And I want you to start writing in the chat, and for you, what is the list of 3 things? Because we cover a lot of information. I only want you to pick 3 things, 3 ideas from what you saw today that you will use to dust off your coaching skills and become active with coaching again. So think about the 3 most relevant for you, the 3 most important for you. And start putting in the chat, what is your commitment? What are the 3 things that you are going to do? The summary of today, what we cover, and hopefully we will have a little bit of time for a Q&A, is we review that you already have a very strong foundation because you are a coach certified with the International Coaching Community. Be sure it doesn't matter if the ICC, you don't see having the same presence of the ICF, of the EMCC, or an Australia Coaching Association. It doesn't matter. Just think about the ICC gave you a super strong foundation. That's proven. We are good coaches. Second one, you have 6 ideas to dust off your coaching skills, from assessing them to launching your business, to having networks, to continuous education. You have a bunch of ideas there. You also have the ideas to work with the support of the ICC. There are 150 hours of webinars, 43 articles, constant webinars to help you, networking. Take advantage of all of that. And also the opportunity to do a refresh certification that, as I said, in a minute, we'll stop the recording at the end of the webinar today, and I will give you an offer of the upcoming training for those of you that want to review your tools. So that's what I have today. So let me see what are the commitments in the chat. So someone said here, interested in getting connected to a reflective practice group through not sure how. Well, creating a community, Kate, or reaching out to people in the ICC groups, reaching out to other certified coaches, people from your certification. That's some potentially places where you can find communities or create communities to do it. Also the commitment to watch some of the webinars from the ICC and the ICF. Perfect. Steve is committing to start having presence in social media. Be confident, keep learning. Now, let me tell you something important here, Steve. Having presence in social media is not my priority. And actually, I am actually pretty bad on that. Why? Because social media is just to gain credibility. My experience as a coach and many colleagues is you don't get clients from social media. You get clients from speaking, you get clients from referrals, you get clients from organizing things. And then people go to social media just to check you out and see if you have the credibility to decide to buy. So you need it for credibility, but it's not the main source of business. But having more social media, yes, I also have that as a goal. Be confident, keep learning, refreshing the coaching competencies, implementing eval forms, reviewing resources. Great, Michelle. Mario, work on myself, certified with ICC, focus my business in coaching. Perfect. Leaving coaching. Perfect, Has. Roberto, review my training material, get a close contact agreement to allow me to work with him, her, review the process of this practice with my material and my coaches. Person feedback. Great ideas. Teresa, addressing self-doubt and imposter syndrome, irresistible marketing, value proposition, messages, differentiation from other coaches, use my coach skills to sell my coaching, refresh knowledge, continue learning and practicing, refreshing skills, resources that I have and that I want to get, create my goal, create my plan, review resources, rebuild networks, review materials, self-assess, keep learning, ICC webinars, read again the PNL book. PNL book, super good resource. That's a required reading in my certification. In my certification, I ask future coaches to read 4 books. And one of them is the Coaching with PNL, with NLP book. Super, super important, good resource. Everyone says this is the Bible of coaching that I need to have in my table by the bed. Start with 2 pro bono sessions. Great, Clara. Going to teach coaching, so I'm dusting up the skills I learned, but getting coaching clients is hard. What do you think to be part of the ICC community and participate in their activities? Of course, I tell all my graduates, now you are an ICC coach, but you can go and register as a member of the ICF. You can go and register as a member of the EMCC in Europe. Being part of other associations is going to give you more continuous education, more network, more friends, etc. And actually, Teresa, let me go back to, was Christina? No. Someone was asking about creating the communities. Something that I have, for example, here in Houston, we have a group of about 20 coaches or 25 coaches that we meet once a month in Zoom for an hour. We all have our business, we all have clients, we all have certified coaches with different schools, and we get together to exchange ideas about coaching, about the market, about problems with clients. So you can create your community with peers and work with that. Sarah is going to reserve time in consultation just for coaching, be in touch with ICC coaches and mentors, read specific material. Perfect. Susana, ICC resources, live webinars, networking. Perfect. Excellent. Well, great commitments here from all of you. Let's move to, we have a few minutes for questions. If you have a question, you can use the chat or the Q&A section, even better. I have a question here from Christina. Oh, it was a comment. Live in Sweden, certified with Lars Erik. Perfect. In 2010, 14 years ago. Good. Any questions that you have on the material that we cover, please write in the chat or in the Q&A section. We have a couple of minutes for questions. Then I will give you my personal information. Then we will stop the recording and I will give you a super offer for those of you that want to refresh your coaching skills. Any questions? I don't see anything in the chat. I don't see anything in the Q&A. I think we are good. Okay, let's move on. Then my personal information, my site is www.icscoach.com. My company is Impact Coaching Solutions. As I said, we have 13 years in the market. We have 3 of the 47 trainers for the international coaching community. Alina Bourbon from Costa Rica lives in Miami and is one of our trainers. Maria Bruderling, my wife, executive coach, and me, also trainer. And half of our business is training professional coaches. Half of our business is leadership development programs for corporations. So we have assessments, workshops, coaching, executive coaching one-on-one, etc. You have my email there also. If you want to ask me something, you can send me an email. And let me also put my phone in the chat so you can connect with me by WhatsApp, if you use WhatsApp. You have my phone there in the chat. If you want to connect by WhatsApp, you can use that as well. And the last slide that I have, if you want to take a picture of this one, that's how you can keep connected and stay informed. These are my social media outlets with Impact Coaching Solutions with my company and my personal ones for Guillermo Mendoza. everything we do, we try to publish in Spanish and in English, in both languages. And actually, in Instagram, I have two accounts. One is Leaders Acceleration for English, and I have one that is called Soy.Guillermo Mendoza. SOY.Guillermo Mendoza is my Spanish account in Instagram. So you can take a picture of these to follow us in social media and keep informed about quotes, ideas for coaching, tools, upcoming trainings, upcoming webinars, etc. I have a question here. Let's see. One from Mauricio. It says, I believe that maybe coaching is out of fashion for corporations. What is happening in other countries? Well, what I have seen in the market, Mauricio, is two things. Coaching keeps growing. I don't think it's passing on. I think it's really growing. Many organizations that were using coaching just for high-level executives now are using it for high potentials, for lower-level managers. So the corporations and organizations that believe in coaching, then they are using it more and more. So coaching is really growing. At the same time, we have a coaching problem, a coaching industry problem, which is a lot of pseudo coaches, a lot of people advertising themselves as coaches, but they have no idea what they are doing. They are doing consulting, advising, mentoring, but not coaching. And this is confusing the market. So some people are thinking that coaching is not that good, or I thought that it was something different and it's just more consulting. So that is creating a problem. But in general, coaching is really growing and doing really well. Okay. How long does it take to have clients? Very often from Steve. Steve, once you launch your business and get rolling with the first set of clients, maybe your first 10, 20 clients, it gets easier because studies also have proven that the main source of new clients is not your website, is not your social media presence, is not your brochure. The main source of new clients is referrals. People recommending you to help other people. That's the main source of, even for the coaching certification, the majority of our students come recommended by another student that went through our program. So it's very, very important to start having results with people because that is going to create the referrals. And once you do that, yeah, it becomes often. It becomes once a month, twice a month, sometimes more times a month. You get someone, hey, someone told me about your services and I need help. And sometimes is I need help for me. Sometimes is I need help for 10 managers in my company. And that is great business. So that's something that you just need to get the ball rolling, let's say. Okay, I don't see more questions. So let's stop the recording here for the ICC website and